Lecture 24, Climate Change's Impact on Ski Resorts. And this will be a more general point than you might guess from this bad title. So today the New York Times has a long piece about the consequences of climate change melting snow at ski resorts. So we all know that 32 degrees is a critical threshold for snow. Snow turns into water above that temperature. And climate change, especially at many southern ski resorts, is melting the snow. To quote the New York Times, "The threat of global warming hangs over almost every resort from Sugarloaf in Maine to resorts in California. As temperatures rise, analysts predict that scores of the nation's ski centers, especially those at lower elevations and latitudes, will vanish." As an economist, we got to ask, so what? There's always winners and losers. We try to identify cases where it's a zero-sum game, where what the losers lose, someone else wins, and other cases which are either negative-sum games or positive-sum games, like capitalism itself. So when the snow melts, we know that existing ski resorts who no longer have snow, which are now just muddy, they're going to be losers. Do you view the owners of those ski resorts as victims? Now, what about the people who frequent these ski resorts? Are they victims? And something else, does anyone gain? Is one person's misery another person's opportunity? So, a point I want everyone to think about, and one of the first lessons we lecture about in introductory economics, is opportunity cost. What's your next best alternative? So in this slide, I give you two fun pictures. On the left are some skiers. But suppose that snow on the left melts. On the right, I have a photo of some lady with some dolphins. If these skiers would substitute, if the snow melts wherever they were skiing, if they substitute and now go hang out with these dolphins, are they losers? Both sets of people are enjoying their leisure. And so the point I want you to think about is that leisure, where you take your leisure, is a zero-sum game. If the snow melts, then whoever is renting these dolphins and the hotel near these dolphins in Miami or wherever this photo to the right was taken, they're winners from the snow melting to the left. This is a zero-sum game, and yet the New York Times makes it sound like a catastrophe for the world that the ski resorts are losing business. When one resort loses business, if there's a fire or just if it gets hurt, the dollars spent there don't vanish. They get spent somewhere else. And that, in that sense, it's a zero-sum game. It is true that the people in Boston, so the Times makes a big deal that people in Boston have long taken for granted that they have a short drive to the Vermont ski slopes. And I certainly agree that there's ski resorts that may now be mushy and not have plenty of snow. Such individuals will need to reoptimize. But we live in a world where there's many transport modes. Air travel's become cheaper over time, and new ski resorts will pop up in locations, and if there's enough demand to be there, airports will open there to serve them. This was a point in Climatopolis, my book, that we're always rebuilding our infrastructure. The existing ski lodges, which were built before climate change and that didn't anticipate that the snow could melt, yes, they're losers. Their owners are losers. But the consumers who used to visit these places don't have to be. They will reoptimize.